Independent grind, powered by Tech Nine.
Joining us now is Chicago's own Qari. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, not bad. How is it still cold in Chicago, or what's going on there?
Nah, man. We had a decent winter. It's usually crazy here, but this was nothing to us. We had like one blizzard. It was like a common cold or something, you know. We're over it though. It feels really good right now. Like I'm by the beach. It's sunny. So I'm actually outside. I'm outside talking to you right now. So
oh damn,
that's how good it is.
Do you? I guess like does that help you creatively? I don't know. Like sometimes in the winter I'll get like in a funk or whatever. Do you find that like when the seasons change you're a little more like creative or?
Oh, absolutely. Today I took the train. The sun was beaming. Right now I'm actually in Rogers Park working with some friends of mine, a group called the Omize. And we're just working on some music right now, and the vibes are great. We just had a home-cooked meal in the middle of our session, and just trying to feel good, you know. And those winter months are like, emotionally they take a toll on you sometimes, and, you know, music is about emotion, and like that leaks into the music, you know.
Mm-hmm. Did you say the Omize?
Yeah, the Omize.
Oh, yeah, they're fucking dope. That's awesome. You guys so you're working on something together?
Absolutely, yeah. I love these guys, and they teach me a lot, and they're amazing. Yeah, Maceo's voice is beautiful, and Nick's just like really, really good at composing and arranging things. You know?
Yeah, I feel like I know like all these Chicago like. Because I'm not from Chicago or anything, but I follow like I see you people following with and working with and stuff, and it feels like there's a real like community feel in Chicago. Like I found out the OMIs through somebody else, and then there's like all these guys that are just like you all supporting each other and stuff. So like, is there that like cohesive feel or like collective almost in Chicago right now?
Absolutely, you know, and I think we're trying to create that, and you know we try to curate that as much as possible because you know we come from a generation of people is very competitive and people trying to, you know, stay away from each other and, you know, cut each other's heads off. Whereas like, it's fun to we love each other because we love the music so much. And it's that air, it feels good, you know, the fact that we can come together and collaborate on what we love and share it with the world actually, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed with your music is you work with a lot of like local Chicago guys, which is super dope. Who are some like your favorite artists to work with in the city?
To work with, obviously my brother Mulatto Beats. We've been making music forever. Him and I have dropped a bunch of projects. Well, right now I'm working on a new project, primarily with this guy Eddie Burns. He's a drummer. He's amazing. He's drums for that girl Claro. They're like worldwide. We're working on this stuff. I like working with. So there's a bunch of people I like working with. Green Slime and I just dropped a project. He DJs for Mick Jenkins. That's like my brother too. I work with my friends really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, shout out Dolly Austin is a guy I like to rap with a lot. Qari is my homie. It's like my good friend. There's a bunch of people that I like working with. I can't. You're like my mind is like going all over. Definitely the Omize. Like I'm definitely trying to get into a groove of working more with him because it helps me musically. You know, I rap and like I play a little guitar, but they teach me a lot of necessary musicality.
Yeah, you mentioned like working with your friends and stuff, and I feel like that's what's cool about it is like I was a big Kids These Days fan, and that's sort of like what got me into like interested in like Chicago hip hop and stuff. And it seems like all you all like went to the same schools and hung out together and grew up together. Like, so I'm curious, like
absolutely, man. Shout out Kids These Days. Shout out Vic Mensa forever. Shout out Chance. You know, those they created. I mean, they kind of they really broke the walls down. They broke barriers, and they were so intelligent about it. Like they're so smart,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still really smart in what they do. And they really led like a revolution in Chicago with the youth, and created an economy here too,
Mm-hmm.
and like taught the young kids that we can come together and make music, and that's okay. We don't listen to what anybody says, man.
Mm-hmm.
get together with your homies and do what you love to do.
What was your experience? Or I guess how did you get into music? Was it just like all your friends were doing it and stuff, and then you wanted to try it? Or like how did you sort of take that jump into it?
I've always been into music. I grew up, my parents were music lovers, and my mother used to sing to me, and my dad used to make me start like nodding my head before he would press play on his music. He would be like, "Hey, nod your head," and then he would press play, and Jay-Z would come on or something, So like I had best of both worlds too, because my parents were young. So my mom, gave me that smooth soul factor I needed. She used to sing like Jill Scott and Erica, India Ari, Sade, that type of stuff. Outkast to me, My dad was more like Jay-Z, Mobb Deep, Biggie, that type of stuff. So I grew up around that. And my stepfather, he had a studio in our living room, and he was a producer. And so I used to see him banging on the MPC, and when I was like 5 or so, I used to hop on the mic and spit a little bit. So I grew up not really making sense, just making up words and stuff. I remember I used to rap about Spider-Man and stuff, But I had flow, but I didn't say words I would make up. Mm-hmm. I still make up words sometimes. Nobody catches it. It's tight. But yeah, and I when I got into high school, that's when I just started, really there was this, I remember one day I had started smoking weed, and I was smoking weed with this kid, Oscar. And he was just like, he went to my school, and he was a little older than me, and he was playing this other kid, Will, that I went to school with. And I just heard, it was just rap. It was the first time I heard somebody that I knew, who had recorded a rap. And I was like, who is this? He's like, that's Will. I'm like, excuse me? Like, this is the dude I cross paths with every day. Like, he's rapping like this, And that's when I realized, like, oh shit, like I need to go hop on the mic or something,
Yeah, what were some of your biggest influences that you gained from the artists your parents listened to?
To this day, when it comes to making my own music, I'm gonna say like Sade. Mm-hmm. I like Sade because she lets the music breathe a little bit, whereas like a lot of the other artists, they beat the beat up. Mm-hmm. Like they, hip hop is like you telling your story, so you filling up as much space as you can. But like the style of just like letting the music play and marrying the music with your voice and stuff. Sade for sure, Outkast a lot, just being imaginative, like, letting your mind wander and not being afraid to let your mind wander on the music, not concealing anything. 3K and Big Boy just had that crazy flow. Ludacris was my first favorite rapper. Ludacris, because he used to just say wild stuff and like be theatrical and stuff. I don't rap like Ludacris though. Like I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to like I don't know how to be that like super just entertaining, like an opera almost.
Mm-hmm.
I love that shit.
Yeah, I always think Ludacris is like crazy underrated. Like I feel like people don't talk about him enough as like much of a legend. I don't know if it's because he's like made the transition to like actor and stuff, but like I mean, back in the day, I remember back in the day, like when like Word of Mouth came out, like that was the album.
Word of Mouth was amazing. Yeah. Is that the one with She's a Hoe?
I think so. Yeah, I always remember it because it has the skit where like he's getting the blowjob or something, and I like had to hide that from my parents, like trying to listen to that album.
Yeah, definitely. Did your parents let you listen to rap?
I kind of like got away with it. Like I found some shit through my brother and stuff. There was a while where they gave a fuck, and then they kind of stopped caring.
Right. Cool.
What about you? Were your parents like, because since they were so musical, were they like cool with you just kind of listening to whatever and doing whatever?
Yeah, my parents would have me young. They couldn't keep certain things away from me. They tried, but like, I was inspired by everything I saw, and I've always been like wide-eyed and like paying attention, So I picked up a lot from my parents actually.
How'd they feel about the title Operation Hennessy?
My parents don't care about nothing. They don't care about I could do it. Me and my parents have a tight relationship. They don't want me to censor myself. Mm-hmm. So they like it. That's actually my little brother on the cover of it.
I was actually going to ask you who that was.
Yeah, that's my little brother Noah. I was like, hey, Ma, where's Noah at? I need him to hold the bottle of Hennessy for me. And she's like, okay, he's at home.
That's yeah. Let's get into Operation Hennessy. Tell me a little bit. I know it's like produced in full by Greenslime. Like, how'd you get linked up with him, and how did the process of starting the album go?
Like I said, Green Slime is one of my favorite people to work with. So like we just have that natural flow. Like me and Slime's conversation, stems from things that don't even have to be said. We just vibe like that. And it was nothing. It's just like we started making a bunch of songs like a couple years ago, and it was like, of course we're gonna make a project. We already got like 2 or 3 that we really rock with, and I'm bad at like just being like, all right, I'm about to start a project before I actually start having before I start conceptualizing it or whatever. So now I'm trying to get into that flow where I can be like, all right, I'm gonna do this and it's gonna get done how I want it to get done. But so me and Slime just had these songs and it just came together naturally. Once we had, 3 or 4, it was like, boom, let's do 4 more and here we go. We got a dope project. And, it feels good to have that sense of where like, I like what I'm doing and I'm going to finish it, because I have hundreds of unfinished songs that are probably decent, but, they just didn't make me feel like I'm gonna finish them and put them out. I'm sure a lot of musicians have that hard drive.
Were you guys like in the studio together? Because what I like about your style is it sounds like the way you rap. It's like almost natural. Like it's sort of like stream of consciousness a little bit, where you're just sort of like you just have a natural way where it kind of like falls out. So I'm curious, are you like writing to the beats? Do you have stuff in mind, or are you just kind of going? What's your process like?
Yeah, definitely for this. I think for the past couple of years, it's been like I'm writing to the music. When I was in high school, I used to write in class to not a beat because I'm not paying attention to the teacher. I used to just write words, and I don't do that anymore. I'm not just sitting. Sometimes I'll have an idea that I like, and I'm like, oh, I can't forget this phrase or this, this whatever I told myself, and I'll write it down in a note, and maybe a song will come from that later. But as far as starting to write a song, I have to be like in the moment where I think I'm about to record. Like I know I'm about to record. I'm gonna, sit. Well, so for Operation Hennessy, he sent me a couple of those beats, and I wrote to them. But for like for maybe 2 or 3, I had to be sitting in the studio and filling the beat out. Definitely writing to the music, though.
I know you mentioned Green Slime. Is that how you got linked up with Mick for Pony?
No, I think I linked up with Mick back when I was in this group called Hurt Everybody with Superboy, and we had a few songs with him. So I've known Mick for a long time.
Yeah, and I know you dropped another project. Like, I guess I'm curious for you. Like, you're dropping a lot of music. You always work with like Mulatto Beats a lot. Green Slime. Do you like doing that having one producer for your album kind of thing?
Yeah, collaborative music just feels good. It's easy, and I'm not a producer too, so like I have decent beats, but I would way rather work with somebody who wants to produce. So we can both take time giving what we do our all, and over time I definitely want to get better at producing or get better at making beats and stuff.
Yeah. Did you, I guess I'm curious about that. Did you when did you start to make beats versus just sort of primarily rap? Like, what's it like trying to sort of venture into new ground like that?
As soon as I had the time and the space to make beats and like the equipment too, I started doing it because, my friends are doing it around me, and sometimes it's like, oh, I want you to change something in this beat, and it's like, I could just do it myself now, Just like, now me and Devin, when we're making a beat, we don't even have to talk to each other sometimes. It's like, I'll walk up to the computer, like, oh, let me change something really fast, and, he just lifts his hands, and then, because I know how to do it, I can do it.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, we'll let you get out of here soon, but real quick, like, what are you working on now? I know you just dropped Operation Hennessy, but what have you mentioned working with the OMIs? What do you got coming up that you're excited about?
I'm definitely working on another project right now. I'm really excited about that. Not too many details I can give you, but I'm working on just a bunch of content, I think this year I'm going to take a lot of time just getting better at what I do and actually sharing it, not being so much of a recluse. That's what I do.
Word. You got any shows coming up or anything?
Not that I know of. I'm going to be doing like a Q&A with Kevin Koval on April 23rd at a hotel. Go to my Instagram for for details. That's Chicago Qari. Wait, is it just Chicago Qari? Yeah, it's just Chicago Qari. Chicago Qari, Qari. And my Twitter is Iraq backwards, which is how you spell my name, Qari. But and my Twitter is Qari. I'm sorry, that's the Iraq backwards name. But either way, you can find me. Qari, and Chicago Qari. But I'm just working on a bunch of stuff, and I appreciate you guys, checking in on me and giving me a chance to, talk about myself and let people know what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely. We dug the project, so we're happy to have you on. Real quick before we let you get out of here, we got 3 random questions for you. First up, you're going to a gas station. What are you picking up?
I'm going to a gas station to get some water and some gas for my friend to drive me, because my friends always have to drive me places. So I'm like, all right, I'll give you some gas. But I go to gas stations to get a bottle of water because I smoke hella weed.
The next one is Harold's or Uncle Remus.
Uncle Remus, man, and it's we could talk about it. Okay, it used to be different. It's admittedly now they fry their chicken too hard or something, but the sauce is goddamn amazing. You know what? Okay, yes, I'm an Uncle Remus person. It's I'm all no, I can't say that. I'm a radical. I'm a radical, and I like both. But in a war, if it's there has to be a civil war, I'm on Uncle Remus' side.
That'd be a hell of a cause for war. Is over.
Yeah, if I got to fight for a side, it's Uncle Remus all day.
All right, we'll let you go. Last one.
Men, women, and children. All right.
Favorite show to binge watch?
Right now I'm doing Sopranos.
Okay.
And that's because I'm young. I didn't see it, so I'm getting through it. My favorite show to binge watch. Oh, you know what? Something that I could always go back to, depending on how high I am and bored I am. I could do Curb over and over again, and I could do Curb for sure. And then Game of Thrones, Curb and Game of Thrones. I've actually, that's my answer. Curb and Game of Thrones.
Anything on HBO you're good with?
HBO just takes care of the soul. They know what's up.
Yeah, they do. They got everything. I can't ever go on HBO Go because I'll just be like, oh, I don't want to watch that. I want to watch. There's too much shit to watch.
Absolutely, man. I'm trying to think of another one, but I just can't. There's nothing. Sometimes I got to turn some stuff off. Sopranos is really, really good too. I don't know what the replay value is because I haven't actually finished it yet.
There's a lot of replay value. I've watched that 6 times over.
Cool. Hell yeah. My favorite episode of Curb is the one with Martin Scorsese.
I have never seen Curb.
You need to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. Right. Don't tweak.
Yeah, that show is just so funny, and the new episodes that they just made are fucking perfect.
All right, I'll go back and watch it.
Wait, have you seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah. We're both big Game of Thrones guys.
Cool. All right, cool. Thank you.
I'm not that bad. I just haven't seen Curb. That one fell through the cracks, but I'm on Game of Thrones.
I was about to hang up, bro.
Well, I guess one more random question is, who do you want to see? Who do you think is going to take the throne?
You know what? I'm just so in at this point. I don't even care because it's so bussin'. Whoever takes it, takes it. Whoever wins it, may the best man win at this point. If the Night King wants to get rid of everybody, whatever, they didn't win. It's cool. That would actually be so tight if at the end of Game of Thrones, the Night King takes over, and then there's another series in the Night King's universe.
Damn, you're thinking down the line. You got to come to HBO with that idea. You're giving away too much.
Right. I'm gonna ask. What's his name? George R. R. Martin.
Yeah.
He don't have to give me them rights. We can write the next.
Tell him to cut the check.
Cut me in or cut me out, HBO. Holla at me.
All right, Qari, thanks so much for joining us. And congrats on Operation Hennessy, and keep working. We're excited to see what you got coming up.
Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you guys.
You're locked into Independent Grind on Dash Radio. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern for the latest hip-hop news, music, and interviews. Independent grind only on Dash Radio, baby. Tech 9.
This is the genius, Chris Calico. Cali, baby. Letting you know you're tuned into Tech 9's Independent Grind on Dash Radio.